Hello, I'm Nancy Vanderlinden, and I'm one of 8 editors on the Communications Committee that produces the Talk of the Colony. Today, I'm going to walk through our new approach to the clubs and activities sections of the magazine. First, let's review some of the basics. All information must be emailed to Jenny Holland on or before the deadline. Late submittals might not make it into the next edition. First, articles for the activities section are due the 10th of every month, 200 words or less. And we ask that you please follow the required format. Articles for the clubs and activities section that are stories that are colony-wide interest are due the 5th of every month with a maximum word count of 400. Photos or artwork that you'd like to submit with the article must be included at the time that you submit. And they also must have captions and photo credit with that information. Changes to any of the clubs and activities contact page, please forward that information to Jenny Holland and make that at the same time that you submit your other articles. The new format for activities section is meant to help the reader quickly grab information. Remember, you aren't just writing for your members. New residents and longtime residents may also be looking for general information about your club. The text portion of the article should be a brief 2 paragraphs. The purpose, the first paragraph. This paragraph should basically stay the same every month. Be a couple of sentences that really explain what your club is about. You can alter a mission statement to make that sentence, or anything that kind of synopsizes what you guys do every month. The latest update section is either or what's happening this month or what's happened last month. The COVID-19 status, we hope will soon go away, but in the meantime, this is where you probably want to put your latest updates. Are you meeting? Are you not meeting? Are you meeting via Zoom or some sort of a video platform? The next section, we meet, when and where. If you're not currently meeting, it should say we usually meet. That's just the date, time, and place. And then the cost, if you have any, should be stated. Somebody that's not a member of your organization wants to know if it's going to cost them something to join. And then for more information, we need names, email addresses, and telephone numbers. Please put them in that particular order. So a couple of just hints for a good paragraph. Please use active voice. It's much more interesting to read something that's got a little bit of action to it rather than something that's passive. Keep your sentences short. If you've got a long sentence, it makes it difficult to read. You don't want somebody to stop reading because they don't understand what you're saying. So before you write, think concise. Here's some of the actual submittal format requirements. These are very important to follow because it'll make it easier for the editors to do their job. Create it as a Word document. The font needs to be Times New Roman and the type size 12 point. And then put your club or activity at the top in bold. Double space between paragraphs, but do not indent the paragraphs. And then single space at the end of the sentence. And please, no more than 200 words. If you don't cut it, the editors will, and we do check. Here's some of the other format things that may be a little different than previous years. But if you'll notice on our current Talk of the Colony, we use a lot of italics. And there are several things that always are in italics. The first, of course, is email addresses. And they are always lowercase, except if Ford's Colony is spelled out, then the F and the C in Ford's Colony is capitalized. Also, please remove the hyperlink. You can do that in Word by highlighting the web address and then going up to the toolbar and choose Insert, Hyperlink, and then there's a button to remove the link. The other thing things that are italicized are titles, speeches. If you've got a guest speaker and they've given you a title to their speech, please italicize it. Talk of the Colony, what's happening in Ford's Colony, And any kind of a web address, of course, with the hyperlink removed, should also be italicized. And then something that we added, because these days we're using more web address or web software kinds of things, we're also italicizing things like Word, Zoom, Facebook. Abbreviations. Please remember that not everybody is longtime resident of Ford's Colony, and they may not know our jargon. Use them sparingly. But there are several things that can be, and some should be, abbreviated. Ford's Colony Homeowners Association can be FCHOA or HOA. Swim and tennis really should be S&T Club with an ampersand. And then the community service building can also be CSB. Those don't need to be explained first and put in parens. If you've got a number of words that can be abbreviated, do put them in parens first if you're going to use them more than once. Words that shouldn't be abbreviated are board of directors. Please no BOD. Use board, the word board instead. Ford's Colony, talk of the colony, what's happening in Ford's Colony, and states should not be abbreviated. Virginia, VA, can be used when it's in an address. And lastly, no contractions, please. Formal writing, we don't use contractions. When it comes down to the section that talks about meeting and contact information, the header should be bold with a colon after it. So we meet, table fees, and for more information, should all be bold with a colon. Dates. When you're writing a date, please don't use TH or RD. It should be September 25 or Tuesday, September 25. Time, AM and PM, should be lowercase with periods in between. And the word to should be used when you're talking about a time frame. So it should be either like 3:30 p.m. or 11:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And noon can be and probably should be used instead of 12 p.m. The we meet section include the day, time, place, and if you only meet once a month, frequency as well. So it should, for example, be Tuesdays from 2 to 3:30 p.m. or Tuesday, September 25th, without the TH, from 2 to 3:30 p.m. Program fees only used if you've got dues. I know some do and some don't. So we will expect you to make that call yourself. And then for more information, contact, again, the order name, title is optional. I think it's kind of nice for people to understand what position you're holding. So if it were me, I would put the title in. The email address in lowercase italics, the telephone number, including the area code, and please, rather than using parens around the area code, use dashes. Let's review a little bit about punctuation and grammar. Commas are to be used sparingly, but when you're writing a series of facts, please do not place a comma before the and. Quotation marks, the punctuation should be inside the quotation mark, not outside. Exclamation marks, please avoid using exclamation points. Your writing should be factual, and emphatic sentences are really not necessary for the kind of document that we have. Do not boldface copy in the text, and do not use all caps. If we think that it needs to be highlighted, the editors will make that kind of a call. And use in instead of at if the meeting is in a building. So in the CSB exercise studio or in the S&T club. Let's talk a little bit about articles that have a colony-wide interest. This section, of course, is before the club blurbs and should be of interest to the greater audience. These are due earlier than the club blurbs, and they are due on the 5th of the month. Before you decide to write an article, though, consider the timing. Talk of the Colony has a long production schedule. Will it be old news by the 1st of the following month? Remember, There's no breaking news in Talk of the Colony. Also, do not repeat any information in the club blurb that is included in the clubs and activities section, except any necessary contact information. Here's some format requirements for these type of articles. The headline, please write a headline. Here are the format requirements for these types of articles. First, the headline. Please write a headline for the article. It should be typed in all caps and use an action verb. Garden club members visit Colonial Gardens. Action is always great. No is, was in the headline. Always include a byline. It should be by in the author's name in all caps. And finally, photos. Photos should be action shots rather than group shots. We love your photos, but we need to make sure that they're interesting for everybody to see. Speaking of photos, let's talk a little bit about photo submittal. Photos in the activities section or the clubs and activities section would be included if there is room available to put them in. We do welcome them, and they add a lot of interest, and sometimes they actually tell more of the story, and if the caption is correct, then individuals can skip the story and just get the gist of the story with your caption. So please take action shots and candid photos. Try to avoid shots where members are posing for the picture. The only exception to this rule is if you've got a group of individuals that have won awards or you're donating funds to an organization, things like that, those kind of pictures are always acceptable. When you're looking at trying to take pictures of somebody giving a presentation to your group, take a close-up of the individual making the presentation. If you take a photo from the back of the room, you get a small picture of your presenter and the back of a lot of people's heads. Photo resolution, 300 DPI at 100% print size. The photo format should be a JPEG and submitted to Jenny Holland at this address. They need to be submitted as separate attachments. Do not include it in the Word document. The emails should be sent as the actual size. The photo file name must include the club or description of the photo and the photographer's name, both first and last. Photo caption, please include a caption with the story that you're submitting in the Word document. And also include the photo credit in that with the caption. If you've got people in the photo, please list them starting from the left. If there are more than one row, please indicate front, middle, back. Okay, now for all submittals, here's a couple of heads up. Please make time in the writing process for internal review. Let somebody else from your club read the article that is cognizant of what's going on, so that little things can be caught at your end and then fixed before they ever reach us. We don't know enough about your organization to catch errors, and usually we don't have the time to follow up with an author to check on something that just doesn't look right. Please ask questions if you need assistance from us. We're here to help you. We want to deliver your message in the way you want it to be delivered. So if you have a question, please ask. And finally, please don't request to see the edited version of your story. There just isn't enough time in the production schedule to do this. So please don't put us in the position to say no. So let's recap. Finally, please remember, we are all volunteers. We try our best to present your information clearly and accurately, and following these hopefully simple instructions will accomplish both of our goals. But here they are. Remember, the email your information must be sent to Jenny Holland on or before the appropriate due date. The information needs to be in a Word document sent as an attachment, and photo captions must be included in that document, and those that are listed in the photos. Photos should be sent as attachment and renamed with club or activities description, and numbered if there is more than one photo submitted, and the photographer in the file name. And please do not send an article as the body of an email. And then if the club blurb does not change from the previous month's submittal, please send a confirming email to Jenny on or before the due date. Thank you.